Welcome back, welcome back. Hope you guys doing alright. So for a couple days now I've been having this thought and I like to share it because it's very I don't know, not sure. Just call it like a revelation or something. It's about rich and poor, you know. Me being on the poor side of things. Of course we always, you see what you see, you go through what you go through, so you're gonna be on your side, right? Me, I'm on nobody's side. I'm on my father's side, and that's because my father said you're all the same. It doesn't matter. You're just on opposite ends of the field, you know. Now, I was talking to somebody recently, and they were telling me about their job. This woman was describing a lot of work that she has to do, basically delegating for the boss, and she doesn't like the fact that she got to do so much work, not get the money she believes she deserves. And she was saying about how, like, in a corporate world, it's like sharks, everybody's trying to get their money. Everybody, they don't care, and they're trying to get as much as they possibly can, you know. And I said to her, me being on the bottom, but not being just curious about the bottom, I pay attention to things. I learn, even if I'm not going to be able to use it. And I said to her, sound the horns. My daddy's in the building. I said to her, being a millionaire is like being middle class now. You think your boss is rich because he's a millionaire. He owns the business. He's fucking, he makes you do the work and they do the work, and then he sits there and makes decisions, and that's what being a boss is. You're not supposed to do work. You say things, you give orders, and shit better get done. Because if it doesn't, then if you're complaining about what I'm paying you, if you don't do your job, there is no job. And I'll take what I have and I'll go live. You'll lose everything. You get it? And I tried to explain to her that being a millionaire now and having a business is nothing in this economy and this world change. The world is changing very fast, So you could be a millionaire today, pick the wrong business deal, meaning the world's changing and you don't change with the world, so you think things are going to stay the way they are. And then things change anyway, and now you're not a millionaire no more because you didn't change with the world. You're obsolete now. And because $1 million is really not what people believe it really is, a couple $1 million it's a lot when you're on the other side. You think about all the things you can buy and all the things because it's cheap, because you're used to cheap shit. Get it? When you're not on that level, you want to buy things that actually last, things with actual value, things you can resell and gain money off it, Not just consume. What am I going to do with my money now? Oh, yeah, I'm going to buy things. I'm going to give my money to other people. Get it? So, I didn't say all these things, but I said to her, in a way, I understand your boss working his employees so hard because the world's changing. He probably understands that if he doesn't fucking keep up with things, his business is over, and some other guy that's competing with him that he has to see every other day is gaining a foot, and this is war. You know, once you when you make a business, people don't go, "Oh, that's a good business. I want to stop him." They go, "I'm going to consume him. I'm going to buy him out and consume that. That's gonna be mine now." You're not playing for no, it's a whole nother level of dealing with things. And if you don't make the right moves, you don't meet the right people, you can be, right back down to not being a millionaire anymore. It's just that simple. And I said to her, you know your boss and have this feeling towards him because you like any other worker, like, yo, bro, if I'm doing a lot of work, bro, like, you should be kicking me in some bonuses and or higher my pay or whatever, whatever. But I said, if your boss was a regular person on the street, you would drive right past him. You wouldn't even second guess look at him. You wouldn't care about his problems. If he asked you for $1, you probably clench your purse or get in your car and roll your window. You get it? The same guy you're mad at, if it was reversed and he was all the way on the bottom, you wouldn't care what happened to him. You wouldn't nothing. And then some men actually come from that, and then they become your boss. And then people look and say, I don't understand why people get rich and then don't help poor people. Whose poor people hated him the whole time he was one of you. Didn't help, didn't give a fuck, talked all this humanity, dumb shit, but did nothing. Will do nothing. You just want to be in his spot. Like you would do anything different. I didn't say this to her, but I'm saying this to everybody. Most people hate the upper class, but I'm like, you wouldn't do anything different. You think you would. Until those reality checks start hitting in. When you realize you're standing on an empire that you built, that no one helped you do anything. They sat there and watched your ass the whole time. Some of them prayed you didn't do it. Even though they was gonna ask you for help when you finally made it up, they're gonna be the first online. Yo, I always believed in you. Where the fuck were you when I was shooting in the gym, nigga? Where was you? Was you on the sidelines cheering? Or was you on the sidelines laughing? Like, look at this fucking guy. He thinks he's somebody special. He just started a business. He want to be somebody. You know? Like, people wonder why people that have don't help people that don't have. And I understand when it's people that always had, you know? Then I understand, like people in, whatever power. But the others, like regular us, that really get up there, you know, can easily be tossed back down with the mere mortals at any given moment because there's always another level that, it's real money up there. It's old money. There's a difference between being rich and having old money. Rich people are just rich. Your money's not that long, dog. Old money don't run out. And I said to myself, because, like, when I said it, I can tell she was a little upset. Because I said, after I told her, I was like, if you seen your boss like as a homeless man, you probably want to help him. You know what I mean? I said, me being on the bottom, I kind of understand. I said, right now, if I had a fucking millionaire idea or blew up right now, I said all the people that know me and stuff, they probably see me on a billboard or something, or walk through town and be like, yo, could you help me? And I'd look at them and roll my window up. I drive right past him. I would look at it in the air like, is something talking to me? Is there a ghost in this fucking what? I hear things, but I don't see anybody. Especially if it's someone you asked for help or whatever. See, sometimes when you're a good person, you ask for help on the bottom. You remember the people's faces and shit. And when you're really fucked up, when you're in your college dorm, when you're fucking when you get it, a lot of these people were regular people and they were nobodies. Yeah, nerd. You're a fat ass ugly nigga until that idea kicks off. Then he's God to you. It's pathetic. And I can see how that would turn a man bitter. Not even make you a bad guy, but just make you bitter and say, I'm gonna give you what yous gave me. But not even the hatred, the laughs, the fucking. No, I'm not gonna do that because I'm not you. But I will give you exactly the amount of help you gave me. Oh, you didn't. You sat there and watched. You know? This is why one of my greatest lessons is to um people that don't do the work or don't have the spark or whatever it is that makes you not that guy. You know what I'm saying? There's no one in the world that can ever say they're always that guy. All you gotta do is change the subject, change the arena. And that nigga ain't that nigga no more. Because you don't know how to do what those dudes are doing. You're too busy being that guy over there. You get it? So everybody knows what it feels like to not be that guy. But you can also be that guy if you're minding your business. And it's really, how can I say this? Like, it's sad when, like, even myself, I always say, oh, fucking people with more should help because the Bible and stuff. No, that's kindness of your heart. No one owes anyone anything, not even help. Help is kindness of your heart. It's a part of who you choose to be or a part of who you already are and you just do it. You get it? But when you have that in you, you know, and then people don't do it, and then you do good in life, why the fuck should you help people? You know? Like, I watched a lot of things and learned off a lot of stories and other people that got a chance from rich people. And they don't just help anybody. They help motherfuckers that are trying to do something. Why? Because it reminds them of them. When nobody would help them. And they can see, like, wow, look at this guy. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even have a chance. But look at him go. Look at him go. All right, I'm going to give you a little breath of life, put you in the game, see what you do with that. You know, people want people just to automatically help, and even the Bible tells you not to do that. You know, like a lot of people like think the Bible just says help everybody. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. It says there's a time for everything. You know, and when it comes to homeless, um, it's I forgot where the chapter's at or whatever, but it says don't feed the homeless. And not in a bad way. It means if I feed you, you're gonna keep begging, you know? And then if you're smart enough to have any knowledge of the past and remember the saying, if you give a man a fish, you have to keep giving him fish. If you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. And Jesus is a fish, Pisces and all that other shit. So what the fuck was the message? Don't feed homeless people. Teach them how to fucking work. So you don't have to be their master, their God. They can have freedom, not be helpless. You know? Now we live in a world where men don't even get that shit. They think you're fucking being hard on them. They think you're mocking them. Because you don't want them to be your fucking slave. And then when they give up, and you give them a job, and you put the collar on their neck, they're mad at you. And you look at them like, yeah, I used to feel that way too. And then I did something about it. You know? At least that's what I be thinking. These rich guys be thinking. 'Cause sometimes when I hear these things coming out of these people's mouths or their ways of the way they do things, little by little I've been seeing the common sense in it, you know? And then having biblical knowledge, I'm added to that, and I'm like, are these motherfuckers living biblically? Like, wait up. Even the Most High said don't feed them bums. He said teach them though, you know? And since everybody, can't be trillionaires, everybody cannot have everything because then there would be nothing left, you know? Because a lot of people are fucking greedy and don't know how to stop shoveling things down their mouth. Some people don't know how to understand the ecosystem. They're too busy spending money. They're too busy doing things, you know? And that's why I like my way. Be happy. You're lucky to exist. What are you going to do with your existence? Are you going to compare it to someone else's when they probably have it harder than you? Are you going to compare yourself to some rich man and how great he has it, but he can never trust anyone ever again? And everywhere he goes, he has to worry about some nutcase trying to take his head off. Because some guy made a video on fucking YouTube or something, you know? People are fucking saying, you went to the island. You know what I mean? Like, anybody want to be rich till fucking niggas start accusing you of crazy shit. You get it? It's not so fun. Then, one of the greatest lessons I've ever learned is watching the lottery. Watching lottery winners. This is what taught me becoming rich is a curse for some people because you have a lack of knowledge. You didn't stop your generational curses, meaning habits. So when you get rich, all you're going to do is self-destruct because you can do more destruction to yourself. So you will, because you know not. You don't know anything else. You're a consumer. You know? You don't understand recycling. All love, all praise to the Most High.